Perfect.
We're live.
We're live.
We're back in.
Boys.
Welcome to
back
the
in the
Chili
studio.
Porch for our second podcast together because we did Jerks at Joe's together, right?
Yeah, it's true.
It's not the first time that we've all had to sit very close to it, uncomfortably close.
Well,
to
what's
each other.
funny is the last time we did a podcast together, it was two extra men, but the same amount of microphones. If
Yes,
you
we had to
remember.
pass- oh, yeah.
We were passing a lot of microphones back and forth.
I feel the lack of leverage in the scene you were talking about. I had my weekly
on my
show.
part or on you?
No. Like I concur with the sentiment because I had my weekly show.
And your weekly show was at a comedy club too, so that makes it like bigger.
Yes,
It was like a great weekly show.
It was. Oh, that's very kind.
Yeah.
But
I mean, you never booked me on it, but it was all right.
It's okay. You were just about there by the time. I was just waiting for that Jerks and Joe's trade spot.
Yeah,
It just
yeah.
came just a second too late.
You were waiting for the reserve on the open mic.
But no, that's an actual. That's something that can happen. You can find yourself.
I got no leverage. I got nothing right now. I got nothing to
Leverageless.
offer people.
Uh-oh.
It's going to be interesting.
If we have to go inside, we can go inside.
How do you feel about all the neighbors? Basically, we're facing them doing a podcast.
Yeah,
right now.
now that it's all set up, I
Kind of feels like being in your
It's kind
underwear.
of like we're doing it for them.
I kind of hate it now that we're actually here. Do you want to do a round table?
It's up to you. This is, I'm perfect. This has no bearing on me at all.
No.
Because they're not my neighbors.
That's true.
It's kind of funny to perform a podcast to empty balconies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Do you want to
It's
cut?
kind of fun.
Would it be better to hard cut to an empty table? We might have to hard cut to an empty table now.
It's
that
up
there's
to
an
you.
open door.
But, I mean, it would make, if they all came out and watched, it might make for a nice.
It would be pretty cool.
Yeah, but I don't see that. I don't see that being the case.
Have you heard of building an audience, Eric? Come on, it's street comedy.
Oh, I've heard of it, but I've never experienced it in person. I mean, we can go. Just feels weird with like the open door.
This is
Am
up
I
to you.
crazy?
This is your apartment.
No, I know, but like, how do you guys feel as? Do you feel like there's somebody over your shoulder if there's just an open door across the?
I feel okay.
Yeah.
I'm not opposed to anything. Yeah.
Yeah.
Steve?
I feel fine.
I feel like
Just
none of us want to say it. 'Cause
What? Well, I just think Eric's too cold, and he's finally admitting.
No. It's actually
Eric has
quite
poor
nice out here.
circulation.
I have brilliant circulation now that I've been hitting the gym. I got I'll say I have the best circulation here.
No way, dude.
You've gotten very healthy recently, I feel like.
I feel like I'm turning over a new leaf, spinach leaf.
That's good.
What was the catalyst for it?
I was just feeling pretty bad every day. Like I was waking up like hungover even when I didn't drink. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like just always sore when I didn't exercise.
Yeah, I don't feel like that at all.
Brain
No.
fog. Brain fog was the biggest one. I could feel shitty every day, but I couldn't like think of stuff on the fly.
Really?
Yeah. And I feel like it's not gone, but I feel like it's cut down.
What do you think is the culprit for having it cut
the
down?
vaccine for sure? No, I thought you meant the culprit initially.
Pfizer. Did you get Pfizer?
I think I got 2 Modernas and a Pfizer, or 2 Modernas and a follow-up Moderna. I can't remember. It was definitely too much. Whatever it was too much.
Yeah, too much. I mean, one is too many. You know?
Yeah.
No, I did Johnson & Johnson.
And just got the one?
I did the one, and then I did a booster of Pfizer.
Interesting.
Yeah.
2 different brands.
And the booster fucked me, dude.
Yeah.
The booster, I was bedridden for like a day.
That's
just shaking.
Damn.
I thought I was having a seizure.
See?
Yeah. I was Republican for like 24 hours. And then I came out of it, and I was like, never mind. I'm okay.
Oh, man. So, Steve.
I just
why-
don't want the mail lady to see me up here.
Yeah.
That's the
She's
one
all-
person I do know. What did I
You
get?
was
I
in
got
the same mail lady?
I got Pfizer.
Yeah. He lives 3 blocks
Pfizer.
down.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Same zip. The Pfizer. You must get inoculated with the Pfizer. That's what they said when I got it
Yeah.
at Walgreens.
They're wearing leather pilot caps.
No, it was some bum that was like, "All right, you ready?"
He was, I'm feeling a little, I'm feeling a little under the weather myself.
I got mine at Walmart. Didn't you guys?
Walmart.
No, I got
Walgreens.
mine at like a fucking Walking
like a
Dead
clinic.
military. No, they like had like a what do you call it? Like a supermarket size, like a retail space cleared out. That
Oh,
like the
that's
National
funny.
Guard
You were an early adopter.
had.
It's funny because then, like, after COVID, those just become like spirit Halloweens. in the
Yes.
off-season.
Yeah. They just become the ghosts for all the that died
Yeah.
after taking the vaccine.
They put all the bodies back in there. They used to have.
We like to joke around.
We believe in the
drive-through.
vaccine at Turnip and Stone, correct? All right, never
We'll
mind.
cut this whole thing. This is the only thing. The only thing more certain to get our audience reach shrunk
You get the
than
flu?
just talking sex.
Yeah, it's
off
just
the
starting
bat.
to- Is that what you guys usually talk about on this? Is just
As the
sex?
vaccine?
No, it's just dirty pretty quick, and then I feel like I think if you cuss in the first 10 minutes of a YouTube video, they
Yeah.
censor it. I've heard.
Nothing
So
against
that's
talking
it.
about the vaccine in the first 10 minutes.
But I feel like that's got to be
Probably
in their,
not great
in their
either.
algorithm.
Didn't hurt RFK. He's
You don't
trudging
think so?
along.
I feel like his reach is less.
It's dwindled.
Yeah.
He got some pretty good movement there, though.
Yeah, but he's not out on. I feel like they're not having him on Good Morning America or whatever.
They're not going to push him forward. They're not
No.
going to nominate him.
To be fair, you can't have that's a scary voice to have on Good Morning America.
Yeah.
That'd be like too much of a wake up call.
Yeah,
You gotta
9
have.
a.m.,
He's
have
an
that
evening
voice.
time guy.
Right.
Yeah. I feel like he should be singing. Like he should be like playing piano in a martini bar, with like a Tom Waits voice.
Who do you guys think wins the election? Who are we?
I think whoever wins, the American people come out on top.
As we always do, through adversity.
I think we just get to make the best of. Since we've got so many brilliant minds lined up, I think
Yes.
we're just going to benefit
A lot of good choices.
no matter what.
Yep.
Joe Byron.
Yeah. Is that who you think is going to win?
Joe Byron?
Joe Byron.
You think he's got what it takes to win the race?
Joe Biden is the man for the job. I'm a
Any
hard.
job.
We were talking today about people that are diehard Biden heads. Have you encountered? There are not a lot,
No,
Yeah.
there's not a
but there's
ton.
got to be. There's some out
the
there.
few the proud, dude. That's the
Hardcore.
Biden heads. Yeah.
The Biden
Yeah.
heads.
Probably a lot of them live in this apartment complex.
That's probably not crazy to say.
Did you guys?
It is crazy to say since we're sitting in the middle, fully exposed.
in almost like a medieval amphitheater setting, right?
Yeah,
now.
this looks like we should be watching Shakespeare take place below us
Yeah.
while chambermaids
Right. Like we're looking
perform
down.
sex acts on us
on
while
someone
our
fighting
wives are
animals.
at home. That was probably the plus side of the Middle Ages.
Did you guys see
What
Joe
was
Biden meet
Conquest of
meet the? Go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead, cut me off. That was a good time to cut me off. How's the Joe?
Oh, the coffee?
yeah.
Oh, I thought you were just asking about the open mic I ran
No,
like 6
no.
months ago. No, the coffee's good, dude. It definitely, I can taste a little bit of the decaf, but
Yeah.
I'm also, like, I'm very sensitive to caffeine because I do espresso. Like, that's my go-to.
Yeah.
So I can tell when there's, like, less caffeine in something.
That's it.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
It's like if you drink vodka all the time and then someone handed you, like, a watered-down White Claw. you're
Yeah,
like,
you'd be like,
it's not
not doing
I'm
it.
It still
searching
tastes
for
great, but
yeah.
I'm searching for the kick.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, it's Death Wish. The caffeinated part is Death Wish coffee.
It's pretty good.
So you should have some extra caffeine in there, but
I probably
didn't
shouldn't be
pace it.
kicking the thing that the camera's on.
oh, it's all good. This thing shakes if it's not like but it's wedged up against the board and the thing. Anyway, this is what the people want is the
The technical behind the
the technical
scenes.
behind
Yeah.
the
The
scenes.
nuts and bolts with
Yeah.
Eric and Steve.
Behind the Turnip and the Stone.
Yeah, behind the music.
Behind the music, dude.
That would be. We might have the worst interview if they did it behind the music. Like, what was it like? And we were like, it's pretty good. Took a while to get our hands on a decent recorder, but after that, it was pretty much smooth sailing.
Did you guys see? This is going to be very inside baseball, but someone told me about this for the roast battle tournament last year. He said when they got it down to like the Elite Eight, he said, "Yeah, we're gonna do like a behind the scenes thing. We're gonna like follow all of the Elite Eight home and like interview them in their homes and like see what their jobs are." And everything. I was like, "That's the lamest, most boring thing you could ever
what
do."
if there's any way to like ruin the mystique of a comic?
Yes.
It's to like show what their life is like in the first 15 years of being a comic. It should not be
no.
showcased because you're just living in like. I mean, this is best case scenario for a lot of comics. Is
Yeah.
moved in with a girlfriend, having more than one room, but like, it would just be very sad to be like, all right, this is the motherfucking killer. This guy's
This guy takes the
12
red
and
line
0.
home every night.
Yeah, and then they just follow him home on the thing, and they're like, "Yep, he. Here he is, waking up for his remote job, and here he is, frantically jacking off for the fourth time."
But yeah, I think they ended up not doing it, and I was like, I
think that's a smart.
Yeah.
I feel like there'd be a lot of invested effort for very little payoff from
Yeah.
the fans.
We got a wave.
Oh, we got to wave. We can set up inside.
No, we're good. This is fine.
It's your apartment. It's up to you,
It's
brother.
up to you.
I just feel like at a certain point, I'm gonna start talking like this, and it's just gonna be a change in
Just whispering?
It's gonna be a change in atmosphere. So we might have to reset up inside.
You want to move?
Guerrilla podcasting is really meant for
Gorilla
parks. It's really meant for parks, places with a lot of space in between. Yeah, we got 2 doors. We're going inside.
All right.
Smash cut in 3, 2, 1. All right, we're back. We were just in the middle of lightning fast, witty conversation about relevant topics to the people.
Yeah, it should just a hard cut to us just be like, is the vaccine gay? Like, just right back to the vaccine.
It's just right back to
Right.
It's all everything gets cut.
Yeah.
The whole Dude, did you watch the full one of You Me Mark? Did you watch that
not
one?
Yet.
So we drove back from a show and just somehow got on like Israel Palestine. And then it's just like hard cut, and there's just like a funny sound effect, and then it's just us being like, "Oh, so whatever going on over there is pretty rough."
Rough.
I just saw footage of Hamas grabbing a few people and taking them, and then it's just beep, and then it just cuts back to and
Love it.
Mark just being like, "Man, that is dark." There's probably like 7 of those cuts, which I think made it. It's like when Family Guy censors a curse word, and it almost makes it funnier because you have to fill it in yourself.
Leaves it up to your imagination. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's something funny about just like there's no context for what was said.
Yes.
It's just something that had to go.
I mean, that being said, you should give your explicit thoughts on Israel and Palestine.
Well, I think just like the American election, I think no matter what goes on over there, the winner is the people.
There's a lot of good things going.
Yes. Yeah. I just think there's a lot of good stuff to look forward to.
Yeah. So that's nice.
Yeah. How about you? You got a team?
I don't have a team. I got to be honest. I actually don't know what's going on. I'm just.
Oh God, ignorance is the worst crime.
I'm also
if
22
TikTok's
though, so
What?
I feel like I don't have.
22?
Do I
Yeah.
have to know?
You could have lived and died over there twice by now.
I was watching the news, and they're like in the hospitals, and like, these are signs that Hamas is using the hospitals as base, and it was just like a duffel bag with a couple
That's
like
all it
loose
takes?
guns in it, and I'm like, this could have been thrown here in 5 minutes. Like,
Yeah.
it was very, and then they're like, Israel is supporting supplies being carried into the, and I swear to God, showed a video of troops loading boxes in with a sticker on it that said supplies. It looked like a theater
like
prop.
stock footage.
Yeah, I was like,
Just supplies for war.
supplies for the media.
That's funny.
That's all I got on the matter.
Yeah. It just gets, there's just more and more every day.
Really?
I don't know. We'll cut all this too.
What happened today?
I don't know. I didn't check today.
I just mean overall.
Today. This is here's my question for Turnip and Stone. My girlfriend finally planned a double date with me and her sister and her sister's boyfriend. Planned out a whole 3 dinner, drinks, go to play pool. I just got tagged in a post. I'm on a show tomorrow, day of the thing. That when I moved all my stuff from my written calendar to my phone, I forgot that one.
Oh.
Do I cancel the show?
Who's on the double date then?
Me, my girlfriend, and me, and my girlfriend's sister and her boyfriend.
Her boyfriend.
And they're all in?
They're all in.
How
You're
good
fucked.
is the show?
I have
That's
no
the big
idea.
question.
But the problem is, like, I went back to read the text messages, and it was like me going back and forth with the guy for a while, trying to find a date. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like you've already bailed on him twice or whatever.
Can you do both?
Well, I mean, I could. It's only 12 minutes away from the thing, so what I would have to do is, well, this is what I have to do. I have to go to dinner. They go to cocktails. I go to the spot and come back real quick and then finish the double date.
I'd maybe pitch that.
I pitched it, and my girlfriend's kind of like, all right, if that's what.
That's a no.
Oh.
But that doesn't mean, I was like, should I cancel it? She's like, you don't have to cancel it. But I feel like the judgment from her sister might be harsh. Of like in the middle of the double date to be like, guys, I'm going to be gone for like 45 minutes.
Yeah, but it's
Why,
work
though?
stuff.
Yeah.
But it's, yeah. But just because
you're
they
being
were
paid
like,
to be there.
hopefully.
To them. You know what I mean?
Yes.
In their eyes,
they're-
you're
yeah,
paid to be
that's a good
there.
point.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's just like, they were like, Eric, are you free that day? And I'm like, Sunday, I'm good. Let's do Sunday. Lock it in. And then I got tagged in a flyer today. Then I'm on the show. So I got to decide if I cancel or not.
Reschedule.
I can't reschedule the date, I feel like.
I'm doing the show, dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think you do the show. I think you make sure you're in a really good mood going into the date, so that like you're killing it as it goes on. You're making like a really good impression the whole time.
Yeah.
And then just dip out real quick. It's 12 minutes away.
I mean, but that's like, no, it's not. It doesn't count parking.
True.
Doesn't count traffic.
Pay for the whole dinner.
I can't. I got towed yesterday. I'm broke.
That'll buy you carte blanche. for
I
the
got
show.
nothing.
Yeah, it's actually hilarious on a double date to be like, I'm actually gonna go make money for 45 minutes, but can you guys cover this really quick? Because I got towed.
I got towed. It's
You got
not-
towed?
I got
Good
towed
God.
yesterday. Yeah.
That's
10
a
minute
nightmare.
spot cost me $250
10-minute spot where?
at the Nocturne. It's like a
Oh.
pop-up show thing. I think they're moving locations.
Was it worth getting towed?
No.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it was a good show, but there's not a show in the city that I would have paid $250 to do.
Yeah.
So you got the car back already?
Yes, I went and walked there that night. My jacket was in the car. So I walked in the cold. That's where this leftover coffee cup is from that's stained with all the drips of when you're walking trying to drink coffee at the same time.
That looks like it's from a tow lot.
I dipped into like a Mexican restaurant that I've been to before that was a big disappointment. But I will say this time, I just wanted coffee. It was freezing cold. It's like 10 p.m. It was before annoyance.
Right.
And I went in, I was like, do you have coffee? And she's like, yes. And then I was like, yeah, I'll take a small coffee. She's like, you want me to brew another one? This one's been on for... It's like, I said, how old is the coffee? And she's like, I came in at 4 and this was there at 4.
Jesus
So it's an
Christ.
undetermined amount of...
At least 6 hours, though.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Which, it would not have stopped me. If that was the only coffee they had, I would have been like, pour it up.
Right.
But she made a new one. She was nice. I gave
That's
her
nice.
I gave her a tip on a $3 cup of coffee.
So
for
how'd
the-
you
There you go.
figure out that it was towed? That's always been my question. You walk
just
out,
on
your
a
car
sign
is
in
gone.
the lot?
It's
Yeah.
on a sign.
Yeah, the
Oh,
lot.
you
the
parked
lot
in
that
a
says,
lot.
yeah.
You parked in a lot.
Yeah, this was on me.
Okay.
Technically, here's what made me mad. I parked in the lot right at 8:30. Show said doors at 8, show at 8:30.
Right.
So I'm like circling the block. There's no parking because a Mexican artist is at the Aragon Ballroom or
Right.
whatever
Mm.
for multiple nights because I drove through there the other night and there's like 100 horny Mexican couples, like teens.
You would have thought Ken Flores was in town.
Yes,
Hey.
just grabbing butts and making out and stuff. It must be
Mhm.
like a young hip hop artist. And then same exact like crowd this night. I can't find parking anywhere. I get there. I'm right at 8:30, and I'm like, I'm gonna go in the lot, do my spot, bounce. I walk in. They're like, all right, we're getting set up. We're gonna, and then they go make an announcement over the thing. Show's gonna start at 9. Then I'm up second.
But you parked in a lot that said, warning, your car is going to get towed if you park in here.
Yeah, I mean, it's like a shopping center lot. Like I didn't
Right.
think that they would have any way to verify that I wasn't in one of the stores.
Yeah, to be fair, I'll actually defend Eric on that. I do that a
That's
lot.
crazy.
Like the lodge.
You guys
the,
both
the,
are nuts.
The lot across the street from Lodge.
Yeah,
I'll park
but
there.
that one's like carte blanche. That one's an abandoned building that like there's
Yeah.
always like 50 cars in
And
it.
I don't think there's a sign in there.
But
If I see a
also, like,
sign, I'm out.
If you guys go to Red Room, the Walgreens across the street, I'll park there
Yeah.
when it's closed. And
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. I usually almost never do it, but I just like I didn't know when I was up early on the lineup. They told me it was start. If I was smart, what I would have done was when they said we're starting at 9, I would have gone,
Moved
taken
your
the car,
car.
moved the car.
Mhm.
But I just was not thinking about it at that point.
Right. And that's so hard to convince yourself to do because you're like, I already parked. I'm in the place.
Yes. Yeah.
And then
yeah.
walk out in the cold, go grab your car, and you have low blood pressure as is, and then go move your car. Yeah, it's a lot.
No, but it was like I didn't fight with the towing guy. Like I was just like, yeah, that was the risk I was technically running. I just didn't think anybody was going to go check.
Because it won't go. Yeah, I mean, good luck trying to win the argument.
Dude, the
with
dude
towing
was
guy.
a fucking
Sorry.
dick. He was a classic tow truck guy.
The
Like,
worst.
You have to be.
everyone hates you.
Mm.
And he just didn't, dude, I'm watching him I'm like, he's sitting there like filling stuff out kind of frantically. And I'm standing there for like a couple minutes. And I'm
Oh,
like,
you watched him tow your car?
no, I walked to the
When
lot.
you got to
so
the
now
lot.
I'm
Okay,
at the glass at the lot.
At
And
least it
he's
was
like,
walking distance.
yes, yeah, barely, but it was walking distance. I
You
wish
could just see your car. Like,
yeah. Well, here's
where's
the
my
thing,
car?
The gate was
Oh,
going.
it's in a fucking
the
lot.
gate was closing. The tow truck was going in when I got there with a different car, and I did seriously consider, like,
Just
I wonder if I
sneaking
could
in.
just go in and see if anybody stops me from getting my car, but I didn't want to.
You don't want to make it a way
A
bigger
thing.
deal than
Yes,
it is.
yeah.
Mhm.
And so this guy is at the thing filling out paperwork. I was standing there for like 3 minutes, and I'm like, "Hey," and he's like, "1 minute," and I'm like, "All right." Like I'm being Mr. Smiley. I want want my car back. I don't
Right.
care.
Mhm.
And he comes up. He's like, "What's your car?" And I'm like, "Gray Toyota license plate." And he's like, "All right." And I hand him the card or whatever. Scans it.
Wait, what card? I'm sorry. Just
My credit card
oh,
to pay for it.
yeah, right.
And
It
he's
was a
like,
holiday gift.
"Yeah, I gave
Yeah,
I gave him a get well soon card."
Right.
And while he's doing my thing, picks up the phone once and just slams it back down without answering the call. The phone rings another time, picks it up and goes, "Hello? No, there's no one to talk to." He slams it down again.
Yeah.
And I was like, I get that you have a shitty job, but that is bad customer
insane.
service.
Terrible.
Yeah. You can't play it like that.
It's actually so wild, like as a tow truck company, to like go and take someone's car and then not answer when they call about it.
Yes.
And be like, "You're making this our problem." It's like, no, you started the whole thing. You know.
Yeah.
You could have ticketed me. Like.
Yeah. I don't know what the solution is for that. I really pondered that on the way over there. Like,
Solution for what?
like what's the moral like equation on being a mercenary tow truck driver who just takes people's cars and holds them?
You're saying is it right or wrong?
Yeah.
I mean, there was a posted sign.
There's a posted sign. Yes. But I'm saying, like, in the
Is that
when you run
unethical?
I don't know. That's the question.
No, it's
If you walk
it's
on
not
my, if
ethical.
you walk it, can you just walk in somebody else's house?
No.
No, because it's a car in an outdoor parking lot. It's very different.
But it's private property.
Yeah.
I still
Yeah.
like-
So I'm saying, like, if your business is like, they can do whatever they want with the car.
Yeah.
So you get a tow truck business.
Look, I'm not saying it does suck, but I'm just saying it is.
No, I didn't fight the guy at all. Literally exactly what was posted on the sign happened.
I'd say-
Okay, but if they ticket you, it's one thing. Like, you should have to be parked somewhere illegally for like 3 days for them to actually like remove your car. That's crazy.
To me, it was, the question was more of like, who's distributing the authority for this third-party company to hold my car at a price that they choose?
Dude, it's so crazy.
I think that there's got to be some like limit to that. I don't know if there is, if there's a law,
There has
or if
to be.
there's a whatever, but
Yeah.
like $250 to get my car back is kind of like, what if I don't have that? Then it's $45 a day. And you're just some guy who bought a spot and put barbed wire around it
Right.
and now has my car hostage.
Yeah.
That seems like there's some amount that's right and there's some amount that I think is not
Yeah.
right.
I mean, okay, you live here, right?
Yes.
This is your private property.
I mean, I rent, but yeah.
But fair enough,
Yeah.
for the most part. If I left my keys here, you wouldn't then take my keys, move them to a different location, and then charge me $250 to get them back from that location.
Yeah,
right?
that would be a dick move.
That's
But,
different.
but the
That's not
keys
even
don't
comparable.
take up space.
But
They
it's-
don't
yeah,
prevent
that's not
another.
even-
They don't prevent another customer from coming in. That kind of stuff.
How big is the parking lot?
Huge and mostly vacant.
That's
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
It's not preventing business.
He didn't accidentally park there either.
no.
You
No.
accidentally left your keys.
Yes, yeah. I did purposely park there.
And there was a posted
again,
sign.
Listen, that's a little bit of a fallacy.
What if I had a
understand
sign-
it, but
What if I had a sign in the apartment that says like any keys left here will be a $5?
I think he's left here. I'll charge you $250 and move them to a different house.
No, I think that it was like what occurred was within the realm of what should occur.
Well,
Technically,
I think there's
But
more
I'm just
unethical tows than what you experienced.
Totally, I'm not
Like,
saying
what about
that
like
the tow,
payment tows where you
I'm
get your
talking
shit
about-
repossessed?
What is when you're at the pearly gates and God's like, "What did you do for a living?" And you're like, "When somebody was parked on somebody else's property, I would take the car and then hold it for X amount of money." Is there anything
Oh, I don't think it's his fault.
wrong with that?
I mean, he should answer the
No.
phone probably as a customer service guy.
I think God would be like, "Well, was there a well-posted sign?" In which case, you
can carry
followed
on.
the law well.
But what's the how do you come up with $250 as the amount to get your car back?
Right? Like, why is that the dollar amount?
To
For
me,
what?
that's low. Like you got out of there pretty unscathed for a tow operation.
I mean, that's
I've
Steve,
heard
I
of
can't
people
tell
get-
this is a bit. This is crazy that you're just supporting tow truck drivers.
I've heard of people getting dinged for like $500.
yes, yeah. Well, here's the thing: if I
and
left it there,
it's like $100 a night. And
if
shit.
if I couldn't get it back, like let's say I had to wait until my next paycheck to get it back, it could have been a paycheck's amount by the time I got it out of there.
Yeah, because it's $40 a day, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, they'll get you good.
Well,
I
but
think there's something. I think maybe I don't know what the answer is, but there's something weird about it to me.
I'm just
I think
saying.
what
You're
occurred
saying
was
the repos. You think the repos are more fair? or less fair?
I'm saying that there's probably worse tow situations.
There's way
than
worse
that.
tow
Like,
situations.
There's probably certain city ones where you're like, that's fucking insane.
yes.
You get towed for like something.
Lily's got towed by a city one that was like a real fuck job.
Yeah,
it was like
it might not even be. You could be within a certain.
She was
distance
moving.
Of something
Yeah, she was
crazy,
moving.
Like,
the car was on, had the flashers on while she got something out of her house when she was moving.
Yeah,
Oh my
and like
God.
the tow truck came within the amount of time it took her to go in, pack the thing, and come out.
yeah,
gone.
Yeah, I feel like the city could
Nuts.
really fuck you on the tow, and also like a repossession of like you didn't pay your note, so we take your car. Like there's a lot of weird shit with that where it's like, man, you taking somebody's family car, but I mean you got to pay your bills.
Yes. Yeah. This I'm not saying that this was a fuck job by the tow company.
Yeah.
I'm just posing the question of how is it determined what you can hold somebody's car again and
What's the price?
what gives them the authority to hold that car. That's my question, really.
Just
Is
the
if I
fact that
called
they
the
owned
police,
that lot.
yes, yeah, because that's what I don't like about it. Is like if I called the police and was like, they towed my car. That's my car in there. I want it back. What do they reference? Do they reference the sign? Is that all it takes?
Right.
Is posting the sign all
I
it
think
takes?
sign is a big one if it's posted, but it is private property. That's an interesting question because it's private property.
Yeah. Now
So,
it's
like,
just
they took my shit and they're like, well, you couldn't park there. It was on their property.
Right.
I think we need an attorney on this one.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm just
okay,
interested in.
if you owned a house, you have a driveway, right? And you put up a sign that's like, if you park here, you will get towed. And then someone pulls into your driveway, leaves their let's just say they leave their hazards on, right? And just park there for a second. Do you have the right to tow them? Like to call a private tow truck company and get them on your driveway?
I think so.
After like 5 minutes, even though?
I don't know. Maybe. I don't know what the time.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
I
where
would
is the
say
threshold?
you have the
Where's the
right,
barrier?
but you're being a dick. It's within your rights, but you're like
You're being an ass.
you're being an asshole if you don't like go out and check for. But obviously they couldn't check. I wasn't there. The tow was within the realms of the tow. I'm ceding that for sure.
Right.
I didn't even feel bad about it that night. I walked over, my car wasn't there, and I was like,
To be fair, he did feel bad about that night. He made fun of my sweater quite a bit.
I was angry,
afterwards.
but I didn't. I wasn't
You were
upset about.
projecting on AJ's apparel.
I didn't come in like I was towed unfairly. Some guys robbing me blind.
You were just frustrated.
I was just
that you had been
frustrated that I'm
towed.
out $250. That was the bummer. But yeah, I would be interested in like what the. Here's the other question. What's the did they check every shop in the shopping mall to see if I was there? When can they start
That's
towing?
true because you were in the lot, right?
Yeah.
Was the mall
They might-
closed or was it open?
It's all the stores had different hours.
They
I
might
don't
have
know what was-
video of you walking out and not going in.
But I don't. There's no way they would have checked that in the amount of time that it took me to go.
No, they just guessed.
The cops for sure. The tow truck.
Somehow
for sure.
they got you dead on.
No, I mean they were.
They
saying,
were right.
But I'm saying when you
But
when
they
you are
guessed
somebody
right, you know?
like so what is the difference? I understand that ethically or like the difference is that I was parked in somebody's lot and they're allowed to have my car removed. But what allows this guy to hold the car? What would be the stop? What would be stopping him from just taking a car off the street and being like
They're not
"It's
violating
here."
any sort of
But
law.
he
Yes,
also
but-
might not have been. If you were in a store.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes. Again, I got no
You
no
weren't.
answers. I'm
You
just
weren't,
wondering what.
but-
Like the police officer has the badge, so he is the one who can arrest people for breaking the law.
Yeah.
This is like a private military contractor. This is like
They have the
Blackwater.
sign.
Yes. Yeah. I'm saying that like what lays out the rules for like letting this person hold the car. That's what I want to know.
Mm-hmm.
Steve, are you doing some?
The city tows a private. This is exciting.
Yeah.
No, it's
listening
not.
right
What?
now for the folks.
Yeah. This all again.
We're gonna get into parking after this. 100,000 vehicles every year for a variety of reasons. Illegally parked abandoned vehicles. Anything blocking traffic. I don't have anything on the privates. I just thought it was a fun fact that it was 100,000 a year. That's quite a bit.
Well, because yours was none of those things. It wasn't blocking traffic.
Yeah, but it was very well posted that if he was not shopping,
The sign
He would
was
get-
not very well put. I mean, like,
well, you saw the sign and parked there anyway.
I saw that there was a sign. It only takes one direction.
That sounds like a court answer.
Well, it's look again.
I bet if you had an attorney, you could sue him.
This whole time.
Yeah, but he'd lose way more money with the attorney.
With the attorney.
That's probably okay. Truthfully, that's where the 250 probably comes from. is because they know it's just high enough that they can make money on it, but it's just low enough that you're not going to fight it.
That must be what.
You know what I mean? That's probably what it is.
Yeah. Sorry for pausing for.
No, you're good because it's just like you're not going to sue for $250.
Yeah,
but it's also a decent enough amount of money that they can pay the tow truck driver and make some money.
Yeah.
How
off
much
of the
can
tow.
a tow company legally charge?
Yeah, that's a great question.
Good question.
This is what I'm getting at. I'm not contesting that my car was towed.
Right.
I want to make that.
You're more asking the bigger questions here.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Doesn't really say a specific amount.
Because that seems like a pretty great racket.
Yeah, is it just
You know
the
what I mean?
Wild Wild West? Like you can charge whatever you want? Like,
Yeah. They gave me a form. They must get so many complaints that they give you a form when you get your receipt of like if you want to file a Better Business Bureau
Yeah,
thing.
here you go.
Here you go.
Oh,
it was
those
a
Better
veteran-owned business.
Those have to just be the most. They all have to be Fs, right? Every tow truck company.
Has got to be one.
Because no one's
car.
giving a positive review
Yeah.
for a tow
I
truck
should go
company.
leave him a 5-star review. Just
Service
the
was
one guy.
great.
I was so
supporting.
I was so friendly. He goes, all right, here you go. And I go, thank you, man. And he's like, and he like turns his back to me and I go, have a good night. And then I go get my car.
He's got more cars to take off the road. Have you seen the tow trucks that don't even leave out of the cab?
Oh yeah, they just back
They
up,
just
grab it, and
they
go.
back up, they drop the back, and then these two things come out like scissors, and they grab the front wheels and then jack it up, and they just pull off. They
That
can
has to do horrible damage to your car.
they can tow you out of like a parallel parked spot. It's crazy. They'll like jack it up,
Yeah.
swing it out.
That's the other question is like you are allowed to sue a tow truck company if they do damage to your car, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Again, it's like, what are you gonna pay $1,500 in lawyer fees or
To
whatever,
fight a $200 damage or whatever.
depending on what the scope is.
Yes. That is a good point as well.
Yeah, that was my. Oh, also I got to figure out if I cancel the show. Those are my two things going on in my world right now.
Today?
Yeah.
I don't know. I do the show. I mean, maybe that's just me being like
I ripped.
Just
I was
ripped one?
quiet, but it came and got me. I wanted to go ahead and get ahead of this before it comes down the.
Unbelievable.
comes down the pipeline.
Yeah, before it gets your.
To be
your
fair,
way.
you did give us all coffee before you started the podcast.
Yeah.
That's
We
kind
should
of
all
like-
be on the same fart page.
Yeah, we should be. We should be alert for sure.
Coffee makes you guys fart.
I mean, it speeds up your system.
Yeah, it gets
Yeah.
everything going.
Makes you shit, maybe, but I've never heard of it.
I mean, if you're gonna shit, you're gonna fart.
Right. You hope.
Where there's
Just,
shits-
do you drink coffee and then just silently shit?
I don't loudly fart every time I shit.
Yeah, but some gas.
I mean, like,
that was
I'm not
not all
saying
we
it-
asked. No.
I'm not saying I never
It can't be-
fart
but
when
I mean,
I
like-
shit, but it's not always.
When you drink coffee,
Ju-
it never comes out in gas form. You don't get a little
I'm
bubbles.
never like, wow, I'm farting my ass off. I had a lot of coffee today.
I feel like the fart is like a precursor to.
Yeah. I gotta
shit.
take a shit. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's a warning sign.
Yeah, maybe silent.
Yes. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, that's
That was
true.
a hot steamer. That was a.
clearing the.
That one was like a sauna, where you feel it kind of mist out.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was a wild transition to go from our tow trucks ethical to I just ripped ass.
You got to reset the room.
Well, farting
yeah.
and towing vehicles is kind of one and the same.
Yes.
People who are towing vehicles are cutting serious
They're, yes.
farts.
Yeah.
Hearty
Yeah.
farts.
Yeah.
Good point. Okay.
Dropping some big Bufords in the cab.
Dude, I was in does her shows at Oberlin, the college out there.
Oh yeah.
And I was riding down with friends, and someone's car broke down, and we had to get it towed to the university. And our tow truck driver, whatever you would think like a tow truck driver would be like in the middle of Ohio, was this guy. But for whatever, he was like a total communist at the same time. It was like was our tow truck driver.
That's
He was
crazy.
dude. He was like,
It's also wild to be a tow truck driver and be like
yeah,
your whole existence is predicated on the fact that you can move other people's.
dude, full Duck Dynasty beard. I swear to God, he had a flask with him. Like, he was clearly drinking while he was driving us. But then, like, every once in a while, I would just be like, man, I'm so mad that Trump's in office. And we were like, what? Where did that come from? What? Yeah.
That's very funny.
Cool guy, though.
Yeah.
He kept
That's
asking
the vast disparity on how much people. There's something about the human condition there, but like, you love a tow truck driver who's helping you out.
Yes.
You'd hate the same guy which is really not that deep now that I say it out loud. You'd hate the same guy if he was taking your car.
It's a little deep.
Yeah.
It's a little deep. I get what you're saying. Yeah.
The tow truck dichotomy.
Yes.
Yeah, because if you have car trouble,
You need a tow truck.
need a
driver.
You need a tow
truck
truck.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, I guess okay.
But
that
if a
makes
private
sense.
property has car troubles, aka there's a car parked on their lot,
well, it's like
that's a different kind of a car
are you
trouble.
going to be a surgeon that's putting in stents on infants, or are you going to be a surgeon that's pumping giant tits into ladies on
Yes. Yeah.
Miami Beach?
But it's probably
Some people do both.
They probably do both. That's
Yeah.
like I was thinking about that with the Better Business Bureau ratings. Like it probably evens out from people being like A+. This guy saved my life. Like we were straight on the side of the road, came pick me up.
Yeah.
So quick, so convenient, so nice. To just like this dude ruined my weekend, took my car, charged me $500, spit in my face. Like
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It's probably about a C for everyone.
I don't think this place did helpful towing.
No, they were probably all bad,
I think it's
right?
they must have like a monopoly on the local lots in that
Damn.
area. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's a shitty business to run, I feel like.
To be a tow truck.
Yeah, a tow truck company that only
But what happens if you don't have that? Then every night that lot's going to fill all the way up with people who are living in the area.
will it though? I mean, how many cars are in the lot? Really?
I
No,
think
but
all
that-
parking everywhere should be free.
I think that there's a logistical thing here, whereas you got to have something, right? There has to be some tow truck drivers.
But I feel like after like 2 days,
You're pushing back now.
But I mean, like, but if it's after 2 days, then wouldn't everybody just park there overnight?
for a day and a half. That's
Yeah.
fair.
Yeah,
We should
because
get
like
a
if you,
We should get the tow truck company guy on the pod, just a grumpy,
Get him on here.
a
Should
grumpy
be a tow
ex-marine
truck.
guy, shaved head, goatee.
you think I like it?
You think I like doing this? You think I wanted to be a tow truck driver?
I wanted to be a plane tower. I wanted to tow planes.
Dope plane.
There's a lot. We're not talking about the other people tow boats.
Yeah, tugboats. How come
Yeah.
it's tugging with a boat? It's towing with a car. You tug a boat,
That's
you
a good
tow a
point.
car.
Tug is much more fun.
Yeah.
Like if you would have came to a noise last night, like my car just got tugged. I'd be like,
Yeah.
what a jovial experience, Eric. Fun.
This guy, is Mickey Mouse going away with my car.
Yeah, you get a sticker. I just got tugged at JP's towing. or
Yeah,
whatever,
yeah.
Sounds like a British.
I got
way
my
to say.
rig tugged by.
Are you a tug truck driver? Sounds like a very Britishy.
I've broken down. I require a tug.
And
Yeah,
that
that's a
night
quick.
you need
That's
a
a
Sounds
tug?
like leading to a porn. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a quick way to get your dick jerked off by a
By
drunk
a-
tow truck driver.
Oh yeah.
A communist tow truck driver in Wisconsin.
How come there's no porns for those? There's no porns for like lady parks illegally, has to get out of ticket. You know?
That's what you think.
Are there?
There's got to be.
If there
I
are
bet
other
there's-
videos, please send me
There's
them.
got to
That's
be.
a
There's
cool
got to be
scenario.
girls being like, "I'll do whatever to get out of this ticket." That's almost certainly
Yeah.
out there. Yeah.
Blue collar guy gets fucked by a desperate lady.
I should have
That's
just
the
said that
model.
like when he's like, "Hand me your credit card." I'm like, "Do you want me to reach over the little divider thing and jack you off?" Just like a very matter. of-
Yeah.
I'd be happy to do if that would interest you.
Is there
You
another
know?
way to pay?
All right.
You think
Oh.
a tow truck has ever been towed?
Yeah, certainly.
No.
No one's ever towed
I've seen a plow
Yeah,
truck get
probably.
stuck.
a plow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who tows the tow trucks?
Who tows?
Who watches the
big-ass truck?
watchman? Could I hire? I mean, if it really is just who has a tow truck, could I hire a tow truck to go tow my car out of
Out of the lot?
the lot?
Yeah.
That should be something. That should be
Be like,
a
this is my
service
car.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
an interesting
where you go like,
repossession.
yeah, where and their whole thing is they charge $100 to get your car back, but they'll just go steal it out of the lot.
Right.
I mean,
But
it's
100 is still
way
cheaper
more.
than 250. So you'll do it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But they would never charge only 100. It's way higher stakes.
yeah,
You got
It's a
to
literal
deal with
crime.
a junkyard dog, probably.
yeah,
A guy that's probably armed and has a felony.
yeah.
Probably not. Okay, here's my counter argument to that though. Like, if you owned a lot, and the lot is primary, like the sole purpose is to tow cars into that lot.
hmm
If another tow truck came in, you'd probably be like, oh, he belongs here. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Right?
But once you see him leaving with a car, you're gonna start popping shots.
What if he brings in a different car?
No, I feel like they're rivals. They know trucks.
Yeah,
You see another truck with a fucking bulldog painted on it from the other side of town.
from across the tracks. That's
They're
the
all-
white. That's the white gang war in Chicago. Is rival tow truck companies.
It was a white dude.
Yeah, I don't know about
Not
who
that it
towed
matters.
The guy behind the thing was.
I'm not in my head. He was Mexican. Yeah.
dude when Mitchell got his car towed, he got like the sassiest black lady in a
He
trailer.
probably loved it.
No, he
Was
did
that
not
when it
seem to
got
be having a good
You mean
time.
stolen and impounded?
His car got no. This was years ago. It got towed.
This was a separate incident.
yeah.
How fucking old is Matthew Mitchell that this happens to him years ago? This dude could be 40 years old. None of us know. And everyone tells me he's my age somehow.
He is your.
I feel
age.
like
I
it's a
don't
marker of
understand
his
this.
youth.
What's that?
I feel like the multiple toes is a marker of youth.
Yeah.
You know,
When was the last time you got towed
never,
against your will?
never, dude.
He's
Never.
also never been towed.
Yeah, I don't even want to fucking.
You don't
that's
wanna
why
speak
it's
that into
appalling. It
existence.
should be. You should be shamed for
Yeah.
letting some filthy animal touch your beautiful
No, I can't.
Toyota.
When I got to my car, I was like, "Did they hurt you? Were they nice?"
Did you tell your parents?
No.
Yeah, that's something that a dad will get infuriated about,
Yeah.
dude.
You let your fucking car get
Someone
towed?
else is taking your shit. Was there a sign?
Dude, all of our
Yeah.
dads sitting here having this conversation, they get fired up. This is a very different
They get-
conversation.
yes, yeah.
They'd be pissed, dude.
Yeah, for dads, the towing is like a point of pride
Yes.
thing. This was more of just a like.
You're just mad you
hiccup.
lost $250.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, so we're starting to GoFundMe.
That's what the Patreon
We're
gets.
just trying to work up enough money to get me a rub and tug to take my mind off it.
What do you think about parking boots?
Parking booths,
Boots.
boots. It all see what
You ever had one?
What I don't like about it is, yes, yeah, I did get one.
Holy
once.
shit,
Yeah.
dude! You're living on the edge.
That was I went to go visit a friend in college, and I stayed at their apartment complex. And
for
they
how
did
long? 2 months.
2 days.
How the fuck did you
You
get a
got booted after 2 days?
Yeah, they just
Eric,
had.
you have horrible luck with this.
Yeah, dude. I don't know. I mean, that one is more egregious to me because I'm like
I'm burning up.
they need to either have some way to like let you know that car is staying with somebody in the apartment,
Right.
or like I don't know what their rules were, but that was like a. And
That
it's,
was
again,
a privatized boot.
Yeah, but
That's a whole nother-
That's
Was
what
there
I
a
don't.
sign?
Again, that's what I don't. I couldn't tell you. That was a different time in my life. It was a sign that I needed to change my ways. But again, it just raises the question of like, I don't know. Can I just go online and buy 5 car boots
Yes.
And just put them
and then
on,
just
yeah.
make Eric Emerson Car Boot LLC? And when somebody's like, "We need to boot this car," I'm like, "All right, call me. I'll do it," and charge them my amount of money.
Right.
I don't know if if you had a lot, you could do that. I think of some kind. Because
Yeah.
I know like a college. It was a college.
Yes, but it
Yeah.
wasn't on campus.
I
It was
remember
off
my
campus.
college had like they would boot people like if you didn't have a parking pass and shit.
This was off campus though. This was like whoever owned the apartment
Condo.
building. Yeah.
Still though, don't colleges like notoriously make a lot of money on
Yeah.
parking tickets, towing, etc.
Yes.
Like,
yeah.
Oh yeah.
it's a huge business.
It's like you got to have a parking pass, but it only works for these lots.
Yeah.
If you want to do the other lots, you got to have another parking pass.
Which is really shitty to be like, we're going to charge you $50,000 in tuition.
teach you probably nothing.
Teach you nothing, but also if you park in an area you're not allowed to, we're going to take your car
Yeah.
as a university. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because then it's like you have a close relationship. Like you got towed by this lot that you parked in, and it was owned by, what was the store closest by, like,
I don't know. It was some Asian.
some restaurant or whatever, but it's like you have no relationship with that restaurant.
Yeah.
If you were paying a membership fee to that restaurant,
Yeah.
and
you
then
should be
they
able to
towed
park
your car,
Yeah.
you should be able to park your car wherever you want.
Yeah. Possibly.
I don't know. I hate colleges and parking, so that's just that really stoked a fire in me, dude. I got amped up on that.
Yeah. I can tell I'm getting older because the Steve logic makes a lot of sense.
What's
in
that?
this, just that like it's private property, they got to be able to get the cars out of there. Yeah, yes, they do.
Because you think like there's issues. There's like
Yeah,
you just like they got to be at a certain point. It's like it can't be a free for all.
no, exactly
Because
right.
then people are barbecuing out there. They're working on the car and
Just
the fucking
tailgating,
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I should have done. I should have tailgated out there until the show started. I can't use my mini grill on my own deck out here. Speaking of private property
For your
regulations,
HOAs actually are the worst.
Charcoal.
yeah,
Again,
has
the
to be
same
gas.
thing. You could probably use Steve's logic there and be like, well, you got to have an HOA, like otherwise it's a free for all. But it's like they do suck.
Well, here's the and this
Objectively,
is,
they suck.
This is what I would like to apply to the HOA and the towing. You got to have some stuff,
Yes,
but it's just the whole world could be handled with a gentler hand.
Yes.
And nobody would be the worse for
They
it.
could ease up in both situations.
Yes, where it's just like, all right, it can't be charcoal. It's got to be propane or whatever. And you're like, all right, I guess there's more sparks here, but if one of those goes wrong, it'll blow up.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, what's your?
It's the one
Right.
instance of the idiot that's hammered.
Yeah.
It's like the one idiot always ruins it for people that know how to keep their shit together.
Yes. Yeah.
And so they're like, okay, we have to have a rule.
Yeah.
No charcoal.
That's like when the Comedy Vault first opened, just to make it a stand-up thing for a second.
Yeah.
The Comedy Vault first opened, I remember doing a weekend there, and like they had the rule where it was like, if you're a comic, you get free meals, free drinks.
Yeah.
Like they'll pay for anything.
Yeah.
And me and the other opener were talking about like how cool that is and everything. And the headliner was getting Nathan McIntosh from New York. He's been doing it for like forever, and he just turns to me as like, wait a year, someone's gonna ruin that.
Yeah.
And we're like, what? He's like, one person. He's like, one jackass will ruin that, and they'll stop doing it for everyone, and it'll suck.
Yeah.
It'll be that guy's fault, but it's like they got to watch out for the one idiot.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. How quickly did that happen?
Pretty quickly.
Yeah.
About 6 months later, I came back. Like literally the next weekend, I came back there. I was like, "Oh, can I get something to eat?" They're like, "Yeah, that'll be $11.50." And I was like, "Oh fuck, all right,
Yeah.
well."
I had the one of the clubs that I used to work at. Yeah, somebody ruins that at every place. Not me though.
Is this club?
We already have to cut out about 90 minutes of towing intricacies.
Dude, the towing stuff is fire. What are you
Speaking of
talking
towing,
about?
I know.
The towing stuff is
I'm
great.
kidding.
We haven't even gotten into red light tickets yet.
How do you feel about the government setting up the speeding cameras? Does that irk you?
I think
Dude,
it's
I'm
fucking
sorry, that was crazy.
unconstitutional. I think we might as well be in China, for God's sakes. They got a fucking AI camera that zooms in on my face and license plate when I'm going 4 over.
Yeah.
Out of control, Irving Park.
But what if it was a private road? Does that
Then
change
that's
it?
different.
They got to get
I'm
out
a
of it.
capitalist.
Yeah, same.
Why should even be
technically,
on the road, first of all? Much less speeding.
It'd be funny. You have a red light camera in your driveway, but like,
Yeah.
not for people parking there, just if they're going too fast.
but- Could I invoice somebody from my deck up here if I was just like, I live in this neighborhood.
Yeah,
I set up a speeding camera.
Yeah.
It's all my private
it's not
property.
automatic. It's just Eric with a Polaroid out his window.
It's just, and then just fucking passive aggressively send it to him in the mail.
How easy do you think it'd be to scam? Like if you got a tow truck and no license to tow, but you had like
Dude, license to tow is a sick license plate.
License to tow.
it's like LYSNC2TOW license to
That is
tow.
a vanity plate, dude. That's a gamer tag if I've ever heard of one.
I mean, how many like do you think? No, people got to complain pretty quick in towing. You probably couldn't just sneak away with somebody's car.
Yeah, it's
be
something
like
you probably
got
need your
towed.
papers for.
Yeah, somebody
Yeah.
would be pretty quick to be like,
What was it?
Where's the sign? I was wondering how hard it would be to scam people if you were like not a company, but you just had a tow truck.
Because we used to do that. This is kind of unrelated. Similar guard though. Like I used to do door-to-door sales, and you need like a permit to solicit for that.
Yeah.
But like the fine for illegal solicitation is like $100,
Wow.
and the permits are like $200.
Okay.
So we were just like, oh, we're just not gonna like. We just never got permits.
Yeah, because
And,
no
like,
one's gonna.
But we would.
What were you selling door to door?
I was selling the solar panels door to door, dude. All right, and we would get called on the cops for like 3 times a week.
Yeah.
But like they never checked your papers, and even if they did, they're gonna give you a warning. They're not gonna give you a ticket for it.
Yeah.
So it might be one of those things where it's like, I don't know, if you're a tow company, or if you're, let's say you're a comedy club, it might be easier just to put a little fine print on the website. You know,
Yeah.
How old were you when you were doing this?
when I was doing solar
Yeah.
panels, it was about 19.
I just picturing a 19-year-old going up to somebody's house and be like, "Excuse me, mister, do you want to buy?"
It's like the fry cook in The
Fuck
Simpsons.
out of here,
Dude, this is all right. You want to hear my solar
It's
days?
such a
This is
Yeah.
true
brutal
story.
job.
Okay, what we would do, they wanted us to look like construction workers because people would answer the door more.
Yeah.
So picture like 19-year-old me, just as pussy-like as I look now, but like maybe worse. With just I would wear like Timberland boots and jeans, and then like a yellow construction vest. And sometimes we would wear hard hats and just
That's
walk
funny.
around neighborhoods and knock on doors. And then so
Should have done it dressed like an Indian chief and a cop.
they also had us do God, it was a very illegal business. I'm not gonna lie to you. I got the job recommendation on Indeed, and then like they showed us Wolf of Wall Street clips like during the meetings
That's
to
tough.
pump us up. It was bad. It was but part of it they were like, if anyone ever slams the door on you, just yell, "Okay, we'll shut it off," to like imply like, oh, we're gonna turn their water off or something, which we had no power of doing, you know. But just the bare
Wild.
threat would like get them to reopen the
That's
door.
crazy.
And then we'd be like, "Do you want solar?" Horrible business.
It's gonna be $800,000.
But I was also like-
I guess we'll kill his kid.
I was also 20 years old. I'm not like arguing for it. Like I should have done this. It was bad, but like I was 20 years old and like it was like my first actual job. I was just like,
Yeah.
oh, this is how all work is. It's all kind of illegal. And then I started like working at gyms and stuff. I was like, oh, it's not like that everywhere.
No,
you know?
that's, yeah,
Yeah.
that's very funny.
I get what you're saying though about like what'd you say the ticket is more than or is less than
Ticket is less than
there's
the
so many
license
bullshit
sometimes. Yeah.
especially in Chicago, so many bullshit licenses.
Hate it.
I was like,
The
I was
stickers?
talking to somebody about starting a show, and they're like, you can't do it here because we don't have a permit of amusement.
Permit of amusement.
Yeah,
No one
it
can
was
be
like-
That
happy
sounds like
in our
something
venue.
out of China.
Certificate of a place of certified place of amusement. I think is the.
Is that true?
It's a real thing, and like I think when I was at the shrine, I saw one hanging up.
Yeah.
And
Which
I'm
is
like,
funny
I
because no
was
one was
talking to
ever
him.
amused there.
And I was talking to him, and I was like, "This is the first time I've ever, like
Seen
in
a
1 week, it
certified-
came up twice."
That's very funny to be like.
Is anyone amused here?
Just like you walk into a bar and you see somebody laughing, you're like, "Whoa, hey, I'm sorry.
I'm the amusement
Please
inspector.
don't ask anybody what happens when a Jew, a priest, and a rabbi all walk in here. We do not have the license for that. We do not have a certificate of amusement.
Easy, pal. That's a very amusing story. You better dial back a couple notches. I'm a certified amusement inspector.
Do not bring up a 12-inch pianist on the vicinity. You got to take that outside like it's a cigarette. We do not have a license to do anything that fun.
On the flip side, it's kind of fun though to just be like a fun uncle that's like you like just telling jokes and you just carry around a certificate of amusement. Yeah,
That's very funny.
just to show to people. Be like, actually,
when you drop a slur, then you're like, no,
no,
I have a
it was
certificate
funny.
of amusement.
Barnum and Bailey's.
Yeah, it's issued by Barnum and Bailey. P.T. Barnum. I studied under P.T. Barnum. That's how I got my certificate. I have to take a test every 4 years to renew my certificate of amusement.
Cost me $1 million. He pulls out $1 million bill.
Yeah.
But it's just fun money. He goes like that, and all of a sudden it's Monopoly bucks. Throws in the air.
What is the amusement test like to renew your license?
It's just like you have to be like squirt seltzer out of a flower
Yeah.
on your thing. You gotta keep pulling handkerchiefs out of your nose.
You gotta go down to City Hall and just shove a pie in a fat lady's face.
Dude, they just have a guy at the front of the line and you just have to pull his finger and see if it
Yeah.
works. Nope, next.
It's just like the line is like around the block. It's just like bearded lady, elephant
Yeah.
man.
3-armed man. Yeah. Twins that can read each other's minds.
City of Chicago's Department of
Department of Amusement.
I should have used that to get my car back. I'm like, this is not very amusing, and I have a certificate of amusement.
Yeah.
This situation needs to become 25% more fun right now, or I'll be getting the authorities involved. I am certified to amuse.
So
Sir,
dumb.
please stop hanging up the phone. Come over here and let me tell you a little story about 2 doctors walking down a hallway.
I think they should just get rid of all certification
Yeah.
across the board.
Just full Wild West. Just
no,
let it-
nothing.
Yeah.
Doctors, lawyers, nothing.
How do you figure out then?
The best one, like
Yeah,
Yeah.
but how are you going to...
the best ones win.
It would be okay.
But
It
the
would
amount
be 20
of...
years of chaos.
Yeah, the amount of carnage
Right.
to figure out who shouldn't be doing
But once we found out,
appendix removals.
But
once
I
we
mean,
found out, we're golden.
Yeah, but we already have a system that's working
But
for getting the appendixes
Sort
out.
of.
it's so easy to get certified.
To take out an appendix?
Yeah,
This is not a
It's like
certificate
8
of
years of
amusement.
medical
dude.
school.
It does seem easier in Chicago for some reason.
To take out, well, there's more appendixes to take out
To
here.
get
It's supply and
certified.
demand.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, look, if you got a fucking like a 600-person town with Main Street and 2 restaurants, you only need one guy to take out appendixes, and it's going to be the best guy.
Right.
In Chicago, people need their appendixes out every single day.
To be fair, also in the 600-person small town, you would need one guy to take out appendixes, and he would also be like a plumber.
Yeah.
In the spare time, you know.
Yeah.
Like, you know when like the NFL wasn't as popular, they'd have like real
putting the mask
jobs.
on, and he goes like, "Now, while you're falling asleep, I'll tell you, a T-pipe and an appendix, really not that different."
He's like, "No." So you should go ahead and count down from 20. And how's that water heater doing? He's about 12 years old now.
I can knock that out while you're under 2.
You know, national average for a water heater is about 17 years.
Do I know what I'm doing? You see that certificate of amusement on the wall? All right, I know what I'm doing.
He comes over to his house, and he's like, "Yeah, I got to get a house renovation. He's going to put me under. I'll just wake up, and the house's kitchen's redone." Somebody should have, that's a good job, like a private for-hire anesthesiologist that'll just put you out for like your son's graduation. Just things that you don't want to be.
Little League you don't want to be a part of.
Yeah, Little League games.
He just comes in and puts you to sleep for
big moves.
12 hours.
Weddings.
Yeah, weddings.
Funerals.
Things of that nature.
Look, I'm driving a Destin with the family. So you could knock me out. They could just throw me
Actually,
in the
okay, to make it serious, flights would be nice.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking.
Every flight should have one anesthesiologist that just goes around, puts everyone down.
Yes.
But then the counter is like terrorist attacks would be so easy.
No, they get put down too if it's mandatory.
Oh, that's fair, actually.
Yeah, I think everyone gets.
should
put in
just go out in the
chamber.
cabin without telling you. Just knock the whole cabin out, and you just wake up at your destination.
Exactly.
Mandatory.
They should put it through the vents.
Just gas everyone on the plane?
Yeah, everyone passes
Mandatory putting people down on a plane, not that terrible of an idea.
I mean,
Be like Interstellar.
yeah, I think.
I mean, the
there's,
problem is like a crash, and then you would need to get people out. What do you do, you know?
somebody's got to come up with a good counteracting, like a Narcan, but
Yeah.
for anesthesiologists.
Another gas you could float down.
Yeah,
Those motherfuckers make some money.
Yes, yeah.
Anesthesiologists. That's like
Yeah.
the highest paid thing.
yeah, it's a lot because, like, I think it's like 1 in every 160,000 people don't wake up or something like that.
Just for some reason.
You would just like you gotta dial that gas in just
It's got to
right.
be perfect.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah,
And you think about it, it's like they're used a lot because it's like every surgery
yeah.
ever needs
Half of
anesthesiologist.
dentistry.
Yeah.
Arguments with the wife.
There should be percentages too. Like, can you get me 50% out of it
Yes,
for an hour? Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, that's actually I don't think that'd be a good idea because you'd say some nut like
That's true.
if I'm at my like girlfriend's family's Thanksgiving, I'm like I just want to be a little out of it. I mean that's the equivalent of having like
This is just me being drunk at Thanksgiving.
yes, yeah.
That's basically the dispensary is the amateur anesthesiologist.
Yes,
Like,
yeah,
what are you
yeah.
going to? You're going to a bar mitzvah? Try these. They're a sativa. They're 100 milligrams.
It'll
But
get
just
you
don't
through.
talk to your uncle.
Yeah. Damn, that's not a bad business. We could start that business with just a crowbar to the back of the head. An amateur anesthesiologist.
Amateur anesthesiologist.
Yeah.
Freelance anesthesiology.
You're just on Fiverr and Upwork, Craigslist.
Just it looks like a little Lucy Booth from Charlie Brown. Anesthesiology 5 cents. The anesthesiologist is in.
Dude, next to the booth, there's just a pile of people being put down, just laying on top of each other.
Buddy, you just tell me how long you want to sleep in this park.
Oh, him? He can't hear anything. He's totally out.
Why? I mean, slap him if you want to. Sometimes I get mad. I just smack one of them around. Heads. That's a funny thing to smack someone who's totally
Totally out.
like just for the head to turn and not return. Like you
Yeah,
just
no
smack it and it
recoil.
stays that way.
Have you ever seen
Sometimes I
that?
put them in poses. Sometimes I'll knock 3 or 4 people out, sit them around the table, pour them cups of tea, tell them about my day.
I was thinking more like he's laying them out in a field, like making advertisement, like free anesthesiology just spelled out with bodies. You know, like you do in middle school, everyone would lay down and
Yeah.
like you'd make a logo or something.
Yeah.
He's just doing that.
What would you call
For
your
promo.
anesthesiology business? Laughed into the mic cover. What's a good name?
It's a good name.
Sleepy time.
Steve Sleepy
Sleepy time
Sunday.
tea.
Sleepy Sundays.
Sleepy Sundays with Steve.
It is weird. You just go in to get surgery, you just get knocked out, and you wake up with a wound and shit.
Yeah, you don't
Fuck around
remember it.
with.
It's like wiped from your memory.
Do you guys act weird after waking up for anesthesiology? Like, or
I was way too friendly. That was like the best feeling I can remember. And I don't remember the feeling, which is probably good because I don't
Yeah.
need to go down that rabbit hole. But I remember waking up from a procedure, and the lady was there, and I remember just being like, I am fucking floating right now. Like,
Yeah.
And the lady was talking to me, I told her a doctor joke, and she was like nodding. Like, she was like a busy nurse.
dude,
And I
when
told her like a street joke about doctors.
Then you're like, I have a certificate for these.
Yeah,
Actually, yeah.
Man, I understand I'm in a gown right now, but if you find my stats in a locker down the hall, so you can go dig my certificate of amusement out, you'll understand that that's a pretty good joke.
When I had hand surgery, I broke my hand and they had to go in and fix everything.
Yeah.
And they gave me a Percocet. And dude, I get why people like those. They're very,
Yeah.
They gave me a full bottle and there was like 30 of there was like 20 or whatever.
Yeah.
It was just like take as needed. I took one and then I felt good for like 10 minutes and then I got home and I like, cause I was in the car.
Yeah.
And I tried to like stand up and I immediately like, threw out the whole bottle. I was like, I can't.
Oh, wow.
It's such like a different feeling. I don't know.
Yeah.
And I've done like a decent amount of, like I've tried almost, I don't want to say everything, but I've tried a lot of drugs.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this was different. It was very like,
Yeah.
this is like
It's almost like
medicated.
somebody came up with this in a lab.
That's, yeah. It felt like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was bad.
It just felt like, I don't know. You ever like you know when you get like a head rush from standing up too quick?
Yeah.
It was like that, but like times 100.
Yeah.
It was like everything was
In
blurry.
a pleasant way or no?
It was pleasant until it was like I tried to not feel that way. Like, you know, you try to like snap out of drugs.
Yeah.
And like weed usually can, or even alcohol, you'd be like, all right,
Yeah.
I'm fine. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
I
Pull it
tried to do
together.
this and it did not work.
Yeah.
And then it didn't feel great anymore.
Yeah. Don't do drugs.
Yeah.
Turnip and Stone stands staunchly opposed.
Sorry
to-
if I just promoted drugs and made a joke about a comedy club that we won't mention. But
They
No.
said
like-
China's cutting off the fentanyl. That's what part of the meeting with Biden and
yeah.
he said, "Okay, we'll stop."
have they
I'm glad
admitted
we
they
sorted
were
that
doing
out.
it? Yeah.
What's
They've
that?
admitted they were doing it.
Yeah, I mean, they stopped any measures to control it over the last 4 years, whatever the hell, and they
Yeah.
found like a correlating massive spike, big enough to be like in the meet. It was a huge point of contention in this last meeting.
Yeah.
Mm.
Where they're like, "Can you stop fucking sending all this shit over?"
He goes,
All right.
yeah, man.
All
Did
right,
you
we'll
watch
consider.
the meeting at all between him and what's
I
his
saw
name?
some of
G?
the like just clips and news reports. I didn't watch any meeting, but that's got to be that's weird. I can't imagine what Biden's like talking.
It was kind
just
of
in a
hilarious.
behind closed doors. Yeah.
Dude, well, they show the beginning, the intro. It's like all Chinese dudes on one side, all American dudes, and everyone's just looking at Biden like, "Don't fuck this up." And he's like, "Well, hello, welcome," and he just reading off of a piece of paper, like head down, and then Chinese guy just like straight up reads his thing off a piece of paper.
Yeah.
Like very formalized.
That's
all
almost-
pre-planned.
I feel like that's reading off a sheet of paper to Biden. That's like bowing. That's like a mutual bow to a Chinese guy. It means you're like
We'll do
meeting
what
him
you
on
do,
your
yeah.
cultural
Mhm.
level. Yeah.
And what was cracking me up was that they kept like showing Biden and him like on walks, like
Yeah.
that relations are good and that they're meeting. And Biden kept giving the thumbs up, dude.
I think I'm gonna get lucky tonight.
He kept just
That's
going
like
like-
looking back to your boys at the
Yeah,
prom.
like,
and
I
being
got
like,
her. I got her.
I got her number.
Because he just seems so out of it that he's like, it almost just seems like he's just having a good time. You know what I mean?
Yes.
He's just 80 he's like a guy.
It's just a walk in the park, like it would be for anybody.
Mm.
It's almost like a birthday party.
This is Make-A-Wish, dude. He's loving it. He's having so much fun. Live it up.
Yeah. It was kind of crazy though to see. Like they haven't met in like 3 years or something.
Yeah. Is it fun to I've never watched anything political. I didn't even watch like the debates. But it's like this election, I'm like, I feel like a real adult now, so I might, you know,
This one's going to be interesting, I think.
I might listen in a little bit. But then it's like, I also feel like Trump's not going to go to any of the debates or anything, right?
I don't know.
There's
I
no
don't
way.
really know. I'm not too in on what the fuck is even going on with the Donald.
I don't know, dude.
I know he's like just facing constant unnecessary trouble.
Yeah.
No, they're really trying to get him for a lot of stuff. I don't know exactly what the fuck.
Yeah.
A
I
lot
didn't
of
even-
election fraud stuff.
Mm.
Now, well, it's all come down to like him allegedly inflating the value of his assets. He tried to tamper with the erection. Like, well, he
Did you say
did.
erection?
Yes.
Did
Yeah,
you
yeah.
say erection?
He
I was
tampered
going
with
to
an
keep it
erection.
serious, but yeah.
He tampered with an erection. Sorry, guys. I have a certificate of amusement. I have to make every 20th thing I say goofy.
Yeah, they're
He
getting
he tampered with an erection. He owns a tug company.
they're giving him the Al Capone. They're getting him on taxes.
Yeah. That kind of thing. The mob treatment.
But they're saying he's going to get nominated, huh?
I mean, I've heard that he's like leagues ahead of anybody else in the Republican Party.
Really?
Like, it's very funny that they're having Republican debates.
Well, that's what
that
I was
Trump's not
telling
a part
him.
of. It's like you guys are debating over who's not going to get the nomination, almost certainly.
Like, I'm not saying I want Trump in the debates because, like, I want to watch him. I'm like, I just don't want to watch a bunch of people that aren't going to get elected. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's definitely.
It's like watching like a basketball game where it's like both teams like out of the playoffs.
Yes.
So you're like,
yeah,
I don't
yeah.
want to. Yeah, I don't care because no one has a chance of winning.
Yeah. I mean, you can watch to get an insight into like what fucking reptiles politicians are.
Oh, I thought you should talk about basketball.
Oh no.
That was a joke about black people.
No, I know those are. I almost said those.
They say it's an illusion of choice.
An illusion of choice.
Yeah, the election. Like it
Yeah.
seems like we have a choice, but we really don't.
Well, I mean, that's a popular anarcho-libertarian viewpoint, which is that democracy is the tyranny of like the many over the few, and that is technically still wrong. Where it's like just because like if 51% of the country thinks that you should like have to punch your kid in the stomach or something like that, like that doesn't mean that should be imposed on 49% of the country. You know what I mean? So democracy is still sort of like, and that's the big argument, and I like this argument for why government should have the minimal amount of power possible is because it makes it less of something that people want to fight over. Like I think part of the reason things are so partisan now is because the government has gotten more and more money and power every year, and so now it's like whoever controls this literally gets to like crush the other half.
Yeah.
If you have a smaller government, then like even if the Democrats, they can't really fuck the Republicans that hard.
Yeah,
It's
there's
Republicans
no
when
like
they can't
power
fuck
involved in it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's no point in arguing over it.
Yeah, not to the same level. Right now, it's like there's a loaded gun in the room and somebody's got to
Somebody's gonna
grab
have it. Yeah.
whiz away. Right by the entrance.
I didn't know if we were
So I
allowed
can't
to be
shit
on the
while we-
podcast.
Yeah, yeah.
I had
just
no
wandered
idea.
off to fill up my water bottle.
had
You
no
can pee
idea,
after
dude.
Steve if you want.
I will pee after Steve.
Yeah, I don't know if I don't know how the last podcast that we did was downtown where it was like outside. It was on one of the nice days, and we did not know that the Palestinian protest was like going on.
Just
So
that
we
in
were
the background.
We were under the Trump Tower
Yeah.
while we watched the Palestinian protest go
So
by, giving
funny.
our commentary.
It'd be so funny to do this podcast on it. Like it's just a bunch of protesters in the background. We're like, tow trucks are ridiculous.
Yes,
Just,
yeah. Like, do you have any questions you want to submit to the Turnip and Stone, the live advice podcast? They no, we had to relocate from our initial
Yeah.
potential spot to Stone Out.
Damn.
Talking about being at the Palestinian protest.
Yeah, hold on.
And getting stoned at the Palestinian.
Yeah,
Get stoned.
get stoned. I think the fans of this should be called Stoneheads.
Stoners.
Stoneheads, like the Easter Island.
Are those called stoneheads?
I think so. They are Stoneheads, so
They're
I'll call them Stoneheads.
Did you know they have bodies
Yeah,
underground?
yeah.
Not breaking a whole lot of new ground here.
How long have we been going on this recording?
How do I do it without stopping it?
Just tap the red thing, but don't hold it down.
This?
Yeah, the numbers should still be red if it's still
Hour.
recording. Nice.
10 seconds.
There we go.
Plus whatever
We got out
fodder
there.
we
can
had
do
on the porch.
We can do a question and either keep it going for a two-parter, as we sometimes do, or
There was something I saw that was interesting.
what's that?
Oh, no. The Gateway. It's called something like the Gateway Experience.
Yeah.
And it's apparently the government at some point was doing research into this.
You got a
A book?
You got a boog.
No, that's paper.
Oh, okay. I was about to say that was a prominent.
Yeah, that was your face was justifiable if that was a booger, dude. You ever sneeze in front of someone? Just shoot like a fucking.
Yeah. Did I tell this story on the podcast before about how? Did you ever have a glow in the dark T-shirt as a kid?
Yeah.
Remember how like not paint, but whatever like the lacquer on the shirt was like kind of a clear reflective thing to kind of give it like a matty white overtone to whatever part was going to glow in the dark. I wiped my nose like I had a Firefly T-shirt that glowed in the dark, and one day I was just like this all day. And some girl came over and was like, "Ew, you have boogers all over your shirt." And I was like, "It's a glow-in-the-dark Firefly T-shirt. You can't get me on this. You can't prove that that's booger, not just part of the glow-in-the-dark
Not part
Firefly."
of the glow-in-the-dark?
Yeah.
But it was clearly boogers.
It was definitely boogers.
Okay.
Yeah. But I think in court, in kindergarten court or first grade court,
yes.
like that was I was very proud of that.
Glow-in-the-dark is the trump card to be like,
yes.
Hey, it glows in the dark. Actually.
Yeah, it glows in the dark. This is all part of the theme of the shirt.
This is pretty cool.
Yeah.
I should have pulled that when you made fun of my sweater last night, but like it actually
glows in the
Eric,
dark.
it glows in the dark, believe it or not.
I have to have a shirt over the sweater, otherwise I'd just be illuminated.
No, I think it's funny to wear. We should start wearing like actual glow in the dark gear to comedy shows.
Light up shoes would be very funny.
Light up shoes would be sick.
Yeah.
Every
you
time
got to
a
do
joke
like
is,
big.
you just stomp and turn
You have to
them
do
on.
big Chris Rock, like from one side of the stage to the other, like big act outs. Steve, were you about to say something about the government?
Yeah, before we got into light up shoes.
It's something about the government was experimenting with astral projection at one point.
Yeah. The Men Who Stare at Goats. You ever watch that movie?
No. Is that what it's about?
Yeah.
I'll have to look that up. But I don't know. It's like this thing that they looked into. It's called the Gateway Experience or something. And it's like this dude who was, I don't know if he was a writer or an actor or something like that.
Yeah.
He like allegedly came up with this way to like alter your consciousness. And it was almost like ASMR binaural beat shit.
Yeah.
Where like he plays frequencies and he claims that like you could astrally project yourself, like and the government was legitimately like writing up reports on like
they're trying to get people to like see
projection
inside the Soviet Union's nuclear missile thing and
crazy
stuff like that, which is very fun. It's also like that's a very funny thing to not work as it like when you have a plan as a government, you're like psychic,
and then you're like, we invested $1.2 billion into this.
Yeah.
How do you know it didn't work?
That's a good point.
What?
How do you know it didn't work?
I think cloning is
doing
definitely
the
happened
best.
by now.
Cloning is out?
I think it's definitely happened by now.
Yeah, it
people?
had to have.
It had to.
I do not think it's happened.
They cloned a goat in like
What?
the 60s.
Yeah, but I don't think
And it's
there's,
been, like,
I don't think
60
there's
years.
cloned people walking around.
Maybe not
I don't know
here.
if they're walking around, but I think we've done it in a lab for sure. Like, it's happened. It's been done.
What does it look like to you? Like they take cells from Joe Biden and like grow a baby. Does he come out as like another same age Biden, or do they use those cells to make a fetus? Because
No.
you can't just clone somebody with their cells. You need an embryo and an egg,
Yes.
right?
Yeah, well, I think you can do with stem cells, can't you?
Yeah, but to my knowledge, they replicate what they're exposed to. I don't know if you could get them to make a whole person, because you put
Right.
stem cells like in your joints, and they'll like become joint cells.
Right, but you can't
But I
like
don't-
you can't like take like 3 cells from someone's chest and
Yeah.
then add stem cells and be like, oh, they'll make the whole person.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't know I mean, again, this is all could be in a government lab somewhere.
Right.
But to my limited understanding, I definitely almost certainly said this on the podcast before. My dad's a doctor. He worked with stem cells, and he was telling me about some of the craziest shit that he had seen. One kind of cool thing is he went to a conference for like the possibilities of what we could do with stem cells.
Right.
And they had a live stream of a lab, and it's just a piece of meat that's independently pulsing because it was stem cells that were made to be heart material. So they're like, we could grow. And then the camera in the lab zooms out, and it's 100 identical pieces of meat, and they're all pulsing in the same rhythm.
Same beat,
because they
yeah.
all made the same heart thing.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so there's all this independent tissue just being a heart to nothing, whatever, which is terrifying, but kind of cool. If
Terrifying,
you could,
but cool.
Like if you're like, I had heart failure, they grew another heart and put it in, that'd be pretty.
Right.
What was scary is that This is why the fetal stem cells were controversial, because you can get stem cells by essentially doing liposuction,
Right.
spinning it in a turbine, and it separate out the different kinds of cells, and you can get stem cells. But those stem cells are less reliable.
Yes.
And
than the fetal ones.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So they won't always perfectly emulate the stuff like a fetal stem cell would. So he told me a story about somebody getting the naturally extracted stem cells, and they put it under his knee to make what do you call it? To replace his kneecap ligament or whatever, and it grew into teeth. And the guy grew a ball of teeth under his kneecap.
Insane.
Is that not?
Because that's where the stem cells are
Gnawing at
taken
my
from.
knee.
What's that? Or they just got the wrong signal. The body, they just
Oh.
they just told it to become the wrong thing.
Right, right. Mm.
Because sorry, my knee's hungry.
Right, just like a total RNA misfunction.
Yeah,
Gotta go
whatever.
feed the
Wrong
knee.
message. Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
But the fetal ones don't do that?
I think it's way less likely. I don't know. Again.
Okay.
But also, I think it's like the ones that have that risk, I still think is a low risk. I think stem cells are pretty.
Stem cells are pretty
Yeah,
good tech.
yeah.
Yeah.
But that I thought was like that's like some fucking cosmic horror to like
Right.
grow a ball of teeth under your kneecap is like something from like a Lovecraft thing. It's just so like
Yeah, that's
Cronenberg monster.
Right.
The Fly.
It almost like, again, it's probably a one case out of like a million that happens. Maybe
Yeah.
even lower odds.
Yeah.
But like the people that are anti-stem cell, it's like, that is a great thing for them to be able to use.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's a
To
great
latch
article.
on to
Yeah. Mhm. It's like the one drag queen that actually does molest a child. It's like, boy, this is great. This is great material for those people. You know what I mean? This really works.
Steve, what you looking up over there?
I think they have cloned people. I was looking up the process of cloning. It's DNA replication
Yeah.
of some sort, but I don't know. I didn't get too far.
Yeah. I mean, I could have told you that.
But I think what they do is they get the DNA, they get all the shit, they grow it in a dish, and then they could get like a surrogate of some. I don't know if they could have a human be born outside of a woman's body.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But like I think they could take Joe Biden and have baby Biden
No
Make a
way.
baby Biden?
born. Yeah.
Explain to me how that could happen.
Joe baby Biden.
Because you
By
have to
like,
put it.
I think
How would you get an egg? By putting any of that stem cell in an egg, wouldn't you automatically be getting half of
Half stem cell, half egg.
the woman? You could make a Biden brother. Maybe.
what do you mean?
Well, if you got to put the DNA into an egg, and Biden doesn't have any eggs.
Yeah, now it's going to be half the woman's egg's DNA, half Biden's DNA.
Yeah. And let's
They
face it, Biden's
transfer
eggs
the
are
DNA
scrambled.
from an animal's somatic cell into an egg cell. I don't think it matters because they already have the full DNA. Then an egg cell has its nucleus and DNA removed.
Oh,
it's
so
just
they
like a
removed the
vehicle.
DNA from the egg.
and put it in a clone.
Yeah, they're cloning motherfuckers.
I
out
don't
there.
think that.
I think they
I think
can.
they've goofed around with it.
They
They
might
at
have
least
goofed
have.
it. Yeah.
100%
There's
they've
no
goofed
way
around.
they
Yeah.
haven't. The
That'd be,
things that
ooh,
have
that's a
been
funny,
done-
Yeah.
like a deep CIA prank. You walk in for your birthday, and like the elevator
you?
opens and it's you, and then they shoot it in the back of the head. They go, "Gotcha, we cloned you." The clone's just looking at you like, "Father." And they're,
No,
If
I
you-
feel like, not to get too deep conspiracy, I feel
No,
like
no.
if someone gets like a certain level of like power, like they get into like local government or they like somewhat famous, and they like, I think you hit a threshold where you get on like their watch list a little bit, and then they start making a clone of you. I'm not kidding.
you think that
I
actually?
kind of think that
happens?
happens.
I definitely don't think that they have
Wait,
Like the
clones
top,
of
like,
local
like
governors.
every year they look at like the top like 100 people that have like come in.
And
like,
so
a
what's
little
the
bit of
clone? So
power.
they could like kill you and replace you with a double.
if they needed to, or at least have the
But
threat of it.
I don't believe it because there's too many logistical problems. First of all, the clone would be like, how would the clone act like you? It's been raised in isolation.
It doesn't really need to act like you though.
Everything is written. Like for
You know what I
Biden,
mean? Like if they're
everything is
putting it
written.
out there as like a puppet.
Yeah, but what if they did
If
that? I mean,
anyone's
like,
been cloned, it's
for
been
Lori, if they
Biden.
did it for Lori Lightfoot or somebody like a Chicago governor,
Yes.
you'd notice if the next person that came out was just like a dead
Not
behind
necessarily.
the eyes.
Not necessarily.
I think so.
I don't think so. If they looked exactly alike.
Her wife would notice. Her close friends would notice.
The question is, how could you get a clone the same age? It would
Exactly.
It would take the lifespan. It would take 50 years or however the fuck old she was.
There's got to be a way to age them quicker.
There doesn't have to be.
There has to be a way.
What makes you think there has to be?
There has to be a way to age them quicker, right?
Body doubles, I don't know. Unless you could just like grow it with like a 3D printer.
Yeah, I don't think that there's.
Like
I think
they're
there's
doing
too
that.
many
Aren't they 3D printing like cells?
meat. Yeah.
So like you could.
I was just
print
listening to
out
NPR on my way to the post office today.
Yeah.
Think about two things that are totally no longer relevant.
NPR at the post office? Yeah. You're like, I passed a Blockbuster on the way.
Yeah.
I'm already about to fall asleep just with those two things being mentioned in a row. That's the most tired experience.
But yeah, somebody was talking about, babbling on about some chef who's cooking for racial justice or whatever. But they were talking about, I guess it was the same person who last month, and I heard part of this too, tried the first lab-grown duck breast, where you take the cells of a duck breast, put it on a petri dish, grow a duck breast in a lab, and you serve that up with 1/10 of the carbon footprint of.
Did they say there was a difference? Did they
ducks.
notice?
I don't know.
How could it be 1/10 of the car? You know how much infrastructure it takes? You have to have a whole fucking laboratory.
That is true.
And
Yeah,
like
but
a bunch of
I don't think
idiots-
they made that up. I think that's probably true. To get a steak requires you to raise a cow from birth on hundreds of acres of land.
Oh, I'm talking,
kill
we're
it,
talking one
process it.
cow.
Yeah, but what they're saying is if you implemented this, you
would
could
save.
take 90% of the
Right.
carbon footprint
If
away.
they did it at
Maybe.
scale, it would take away.
Yeah,
90%
it's obviously a more
Maybe.
complicated way to get a singular duck breast.
Yeah, there's fucking centrifuges spinning around and shit.
But this is the other thing that they said that I actually thought was kind of interesting was that it was you would no longer have to. You could decentralize food production because right now, all the cows are grown in whatever the Midwest here, and so if you live in the mountains of New York, they might have cows there. I don't know, but
Do they?
they
I
ship.
think you could
no
have
idea.
cows anywhere.
But I'm saying 90% of our beef or whatever comes from these giant factory farms in the middle of the country,
Right.
And then gets frozen and gets mailed to McDonald's all over the world. People get preservatives, antibiotics,
It's supposed to you
plastics.
just have one lab.
Yeah, it's if you had you could have a lab like this in every town,
Right.
and you just get fresh meat.
Mhm.
Just have a farm in every town. Just have more farmers.
You can't do that.
Why?
People don't farm anymore. For
That's
one.
the problem.
Two, Chicago, you can't have just a farm in Chicago. There's 3 million people.
You guys really don't think they clone people for real? This
No.
is
I think they have.
I don't think that.
I don't mean to just fully switch it back to this, but I can't.
No,
I cannot.
I
Believe
just don't think
That's-
that they could have tomorrow have a new Biden in there. They could maybe have a guy that looks like him, but I don't think just because of the aging.
I think they could do DNA replication on virtually anyone.
But how?
what does that
it-
mean?
Couldn't you? Okay.
How do you get an 80-year-old man?
Eric. All right. Biden's what? He's 73 or something, right? He's
Yeah.
80.
He's 80.
80.
Okay. Biden's 80.
Biden's what, 46?
You're telling me you couldn't take a DNA sample? I'm not saying we could. I'm saying they have probably found the technology to do it by now. To take his DNA sample and just replicate it into another 80-year-old man.
No, I don't
How?
think it's out there.
And replicate it into a what?
Into an already existing 80-year-old man.
Oh, and make it look like Biden?
And just
by
make it look
putting
like
in
Biden.
there?
Yeah. Mm.
I don't think the government and then that would all be here's what I would say is more likely is that there's lab grown I'm going to paint a morbid picture for the sake of entertainment.
It's okay. Mhm.
But just a factory full of limbless, headless torsos that have livers and lungs in them.
Yes.
That the wealthy could be I want a fresh liver, and they just go harvest. I don't think it would actually look
cannibal-
like that.
Right.
But I'm saying they'd be.
There's
if-
no way we could predict what it would look
That's
like, but I
fucked
get what
up.
you're saying. And it's not.
It would just be
totally unbelievable.
vats of
No.
livers and lungs and hearts and shit that are that are cloned so that they'll
Yeah.
match perfectly
That are
with your
a la
body.
carte, ready to go.
Yes, yeah. Maybe there's something like that, but even that I think would be it wouldn't be a secret. It would just be something where it's this is available to It'd
the
be
wealthy.
like the pedophile island.
They don't need to
essentially.
grow
It'd be
them.
like
They just
Yeah.
abduct people and take
yeah, but
their
I'm saying no,
organs
but
out.
you want a perfect match to your body, so there's no chance of your body rejecting the organ.
Right.
That is fucked up.
So you essentially just grow your heart from 25 years ago
Yeah,
in a lab, but like 10 of them just in case,
yeah,
and then put it back in. Yeah.
yeah.
You don't think they've grown a person or started to?
I mean, maybe somebody saw that they could. I mean, like, there's stuff I've heard about that, like in China, where like somebody starts doing it and then they like kill it pretty quick because they're like,
Yes.
oh fuck, it's working,
Right.
and they shut it down.
Yeah, but you don't think there was one where they're like, we're
You
gonna.
think
see
there's one
this
where they're
goes?
like, we're gonna keep this and we're gonna keep it way off the grid and like away from people. My only
Maybe,
argument
but
is
I
this.
just don't like.
I'm not saying we can predict what's going. Like, I don't think I know exactly what's going on. Like the whole they like clone every celebrity that like gets big. It's just like a stupid theory. I don't think
Yeah.
that's true. My point is more just like if they were able to clone animals 60 years ago, you're telling me in the last 60 years we've made zero progress in that, and we just don't know about it.
No, I'm not saying that we've made zero progress. I just I don't think that there are clones of people out there right now,
Okay.
like being held somewhere in a facility to take their place or to whatever. Like, I think, look, it's totally within the
I think
realm of
they're working on
possibility
it.
that a mad scientist is like there's a guy in China who's doing 60 years because he made genetically modified babies, which is like a very funny like, in China where like the government's got its hands in literally everything,
Right.
And then they're like,
To be like, no, but
can
you
you make
can't
a
make
can you make a
babies smarter."
genetically perfectly baby? And the guy like, yeah, for sure. He does it. He goes, oh, you monster. Oh, get into
Right.
jail, you. Oh,
believe you did
no.
that.
Yeah, I could
Give
see
us
that.
your research.
Also,
and get
how'd
in
you do
jail.
it? But yeah.
I could see that being happening.
That's, I think,
Yeah.
a nightmare that's coming down the drain. Which might not be a nightmare. It might be the best.
GMO babies.
Well, no, I think it's going to be like, they're just going to be like, hey, if you give us an extra $5 million, you can make your baby like guaranteed genius. You can make your
Yeah.
baby like guaranteed like
6'4" or
6'4".
whatever.
Yeah. And I think you're going to get designer babies like in the pretty near future, which I think
Yeah.
is something that's scary. But
Designer babies is
here's the
scary.
thing: is like that's like I don't want it because that's not what I grew up with. That's not how. But like, if you were to put me in like to play God and be like in a perfect world, like to be able to be like, hey, we're just gonna go ahead and run through this quick checklist that like means like no cancer, no Alzheimer's, no injuries, no whatever.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that part of it. Okay.
Then I think that's like I'm like, yeah, it seems terrifying and dystopic, but I would hypothetically want my child to have access to like
Yeah.
the most amount of mitigating factors to make their life not bad.
Right.
But then you're like, it's also bizarre. Then
It'd
you're
be
like, this
cool-
is not my kid.
It'd be cool if they did it like a.
It's
Right.
partially not my kid.
Yeah, it'd be cool if they did like GMO kids, but like they're free, but with ads. Like your kid can have no cancer, but every 10 minutes he just starts talking about blue chews or whatever, like, just automatically.
Yeah, that's the discount version.
Yeah.
Yeah. Would you ever do that, Steve, for a kid?
No.
If they were like, it's like no alterations, but it just guarantees that they'll
No,
like never
'cause
get the.
it's just weird.
It is just weird.
And it's not like
But I don't
there's
know if
always
it's
a
stopping.
cost.
That's not that might not be true.
There's always a cost.
What's the
Something's
risk?
fucked up. Something's weird.
I don't think that's true. I don't think there's any rule of the universe that there's always a cost. Well,
Everything every action has an equal and opposite reaction.
but like what? So let's just say that like, if they're just like, hey, we're just gonna do like it's like a 10-minute procedure to the embryo that like cuts out the gene that like
I
leads
hate
to
all that shit. I think they can do more than they can. And that
I mean, the
most
guy
of
in China
time-
did it. It's been done.
You did do
You
it,
want
yeah.
to talk about conspiracies or not?
I would.
This is
I don't
way
know.
more-
The most ideal would be just to fucking in a creek, pulling the baby out of your vagina
You know what?
in a creek.
Yeah, and then you go live in a
naturally.
log cabin. You
Yeah.
get tuberculosis.
Yes.
You diarrhea on your
Yeah.
wife till you're both dead, and the kid gets
And
eaten
then
by
you're
a bear.
fine, the natural way. It's like, how far do you go? Wait, what point is it? Like, are you this crazy
Yeah, but I mean, here, like this would be
Utopian,
my argument: is that like
horse shit, sterilized society that we're marching
a sharpened stick is technology that allows humans to survive. I don't think it's unnatural to pursue whatever makes your species
Why fuck?
Right.
the most viable.
Why even fuck?
Because it feels good.
Because it feels good.
But there's the odds of you doing this or that.
Dude, if
we could easily take the
feel good, we would
sperm.
have stopped it a while ago.
We could easily take the sperm, and with your implantable chip, you can experience 4 times more pleasure than the standard orgasm.
Well, you didn't say that. I got 4 times more pleasure. Now, yes. Now with chip.
Yeah. So
you just said it's better now.
Right. So you're just automatically opting for the technological advancement.
No, it scares the hell out of me. But I think that I don't think that that's unnatural. I think that's the same as like inventing aspirin in the 1800s. Somebody's like, oh, you're going to take a chemical and now you're not going to feel pain when you get a surgery? That's not natural. That's crazy that they invented that.
Yeah, I get your argument.
I think that it's like...
What's your point?
You said birthing in a creek is the natural way, and I'm pushing back on that.
Yeah, I was being hyperbolic in a sense.
I'm saying that it's a...
But I like to let in nature.
Yes. Yeah. Same. But
it's like a sourdough bread. You ever have bunny bread? Bunny bread's good in its own right.
Yeah.
Or whatever the fuck they have up here.
Yeah.
But you ever have a good sourdough with a crust? You got to get that shit out of the air.
Yeah, it's got to touch.
That's where things are interesting.
Touch nature. Yeah.
I believe in magic.
But I think
you believe in magic.
But here's the thing. I think
believe in magic in a lab. Yeah.
I don't think that those two are mutually exclusive. Like if somebody's like, "Hey, we could do a quick thing, and your kid will like have a 0% chance of Alzheimer's," then I would be like, "Damn, that sounds like a nice thing to do for my kid now," and then I can still go play catch with him barefoot in the yard.
It's like okay.
Right.
But
give me a bunch of money.
But it is weird.
Like we can all just do anything. It's like something about the pulling levers that is always. This is no big problem. We could.
Yeah, but when the lever is when the lever is Alzheimer's or Down syndrome, you know what I mean? Like there's.
Yeah, what's wrong with a retarded kid or a Down's kid?
I don't.
Yeah, everything.
Nothing.
No, I know.
But
I get what you're
saying.
saying.
I agree with you. Like it feels weird in my guts, so I don't know if I would do it.
Well, it turns into like, why don't the blonde-haired, blue-eyed people just have all the kids?
Well, no, but this is different because now it's all of us having kids, but they only become blonde-haired, blue-eyed.
It turns into what was that called? Eugenics?
Well, it's legit. Yeah, this is legit eugenics without the conspiracy, hypothetically, because a black couple could do the same thing. They could be like, "Yeah, we would like our blacks." It's designer.
Well, eventually,
to be fair, if we did go designer in this age, like we would all, I'd want black kids.
You want to get booked more,
dude? I wouldn't have blonde or blue. I'd have black kids.
Really?
Yeah, 100%.
Why?
I'd make them tall and athletic, and
you can just
smart.
Blindside a couple of black kids.
Yeah,
I just adopt.
Well, but I want them to look like me, but just black. I don't know.
This might be the most evil take of the
How is it evil, dude?
I want them to be black.
Yeah,
I would still want them to look like me.
No,
I don't want to.
Not in like a colonizer kind of way. It's just like I want them to be my kids, my seed. But like, yeah, dude, if you could choose, like, I don't know, everything that I've ever loved my whole life, black people have been better at. Just music and sports, dude. You're telling me you don't want your kid to be skilled, Eric?
But
I'm partially kidding, by the way. This is okay.
I understand. Yeah.
We all know that AI is going to control breeding in the next 40 years, and then they'll determine what the optimal genetic traits are.
Yeah,
and then that's what'll be selected for.
But I would say that
in
this
the hospitals.
I would say that this is like a version of that where people are in charge, but it's just like a doctor being like, "Would you like your kid to have like mom's hair or dad's hair?"
Right.
You can pick.
Right.
You want your eyes? You
That's
want blue eyes?
Kind of cool.
I don't know.
Scary but cool.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like Sims. I think it is.
Yeah, and then also like that'd be a weird thing to put on your kid because then like you and your wife get divorced and you're like, I fucking told you we should have given him my hair. Or, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. I want my hair back.
Yeah.
You had to give him an Asian cock, didn't you? Couldn't give him a big old fucking schlong.
Donger. I think that there's a.
Do you want your kid to have a big penis or a little?
Well, yeah, that's the thing. Everyone's gonna be. As here's the thing: as soon as you and your wife have to have the discussion of what size penis to give your kid, and she says even a centimeter bigger than yours, it's just going to be hammer fists.
Yeah.
It's going to be, you're going to get escorted out of the hospital.
The Smiths, son, they got a bigger penis than her. She got a bigger penis than her husband. It turns into like, so you ever been at somebody's house?
It's like when you pull out a radish by the stems, the doctor's just holding your kid by the black thing.
It's in the agreement.
He goes, it's a boy.
Okay, so sky's the limit here, so just go ahead and tell me when to stop.
He goes, oh, all right, it's one of those families.
Yeah. Well, you also, I don't know. Then there would be the one kid who has like an average, and he'd be like, "Fuck you, Dad! Like you couldn't have looked out for me at least a little bit." Yeah.
He goes, why'd you put all the money in IQ? It's gonna be like stats because it's gonna cost money.
Just a genius kid.
I think it's gonna result.
It should be like a rating system, like in Madden.
Yeah.
Where it's like you can only have up to a certain amount. You know.
This is the dystopic future I think could happen because it could be good.
Right.
It could go in a way where it's like everyone gets like the ability to filter out microplastics. You know what I mean? Like something like that. Or if it's money based, then what's going to happen is I think we go two different evolutionary tracks where like being non-modified basically is like you're going to be like a slave or you're going to be tow truck driver, mailman. You're not going to be like qualified to do the kinds of jobs that are required in the future.
Right.
And so then you're going to have
you're like
ugly,
unskilled labor essentially. Yeah.
And like there's something about like the asymmetry of our faces that like we can't detect now when we look at each other, but when you're making perfect like
beings,
Michelangelo, angel face, like they're gonna be able to look at you and be like, "You're a rat person."
It's almost kind of like that, right? Not like already. Like go into like an elite corporate environment. Everyone looks like they were fucking engineered out of a laboratory.
It's a good point.
Selected by specific personality traits.
Yeah,
they're chosen based on an algorithm of their skills.
But that's what makes a business work well.
It's just having the top
selecting
of the gene
out,
pool.
Yeah, I mean the AI's already figured out how to hire, like I'm sure, like to scan resumes and like.
There's just flaws.
Pick out
In
those.
like it just sucks. I like variety.
Yes, but that's not what makes it good. That's why you don't work.
That's not what makes a good business.
Yeah, that's why you don't work at fucking Salesforce.
I'm in the soul business.
Yeah, exactly. We all.
I'm a
I mean, that's why we
soul
got a fucking iPhone clipped upside down to a chair while
I'm a soul man.
Do you think when that happens, they're gonna have like they're gonna have stand-up shows that are only non-genetically modified? Like, if you're non-genetically modified,
I don't even know what stand-up looks like in that.
If you're non-genetically modified, do you get booked more as like a minority?
No, I don't. I think it's gonna be like in this world. The way I see it is, it's like you live like it's like Elysium or something like that. It's like there's a walled city on a hill. That's bright with parks, and there's just
like
a bunch of rich people. Yeah,
Metropolis. All the elites live like in the sky.
Yeah.
Up way up on these, and then all the poor live in tunnels.
Everyone says that about the future, though. That it's like, oh, like the elites are not going to want to live amongst us, but it's like they could do that now, and they choose not to. I feel like sometimes rich people like living adjacent. Not with, but like adjacent to people that are doing worse, so that they can feel better. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I think that's will go away when worse gets worse and better gets better.
Fair,
maybe.
It's just like if you're a millionaire, but you have the smallest house on the block, you don't feel as good.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure the elite will have their own tiers of elite, and the like the rats will have their own tier of rats.
Tier of rats.
Yeah, the tunnel rats. But I don't know. I hope that's not how it goes. I hope it goes.
Your face is asymmetrical, but you have a huge cock, so you're
you're
top
somewhere
of
in the middle. Yeah. You can afford just enough. I heard this was to be the positive thing. The phrase solar punk. Have you heard that? Like steampunk. You know, there's like steampunk games or cyberpunk,
right?
Where it's like a dystopic future and everyone's half robot and their cops are all. The solar punk is like the opposite of that, where it's like the AI goes into like. This also came on NPR. I saw it separate from hearing the phrase solar punk. It was interesting, but it was like a machine that harvests plants and kills weeds, and there's like 20 microcomputers that scan the ground, and they can identify a weed, and they hit the weed with a concentrated fertilizer that a baby weed can't survive that high concentration, but when it rains, it just fertilizes the... And they were like, we could do that and cut out 90% of pesticides and chemicals used to like run a thing.
Yeah.
So you're like, there's this other alternate future, hypothetically, where it's like the AI is like a robot that forages for tasty mushrooms and like grows foods without antibiotics because it can like detect a pest and eliminate it.
Here's why I'm kind of pessimistic about that is like, what are you going to pay more money for? for like pesticides to be eliminated, or like for your kid to like.
Well,
have
it
a
might be
huge
all
crop,
of that.
You know,
it
what
might
I
be
mean?
a
It might
future
be
where it's
everything.
like your
Yeah.
kids are like all the kids are hot and all the food is natural.
The ideal future, as we would put
Yeah,
it. Yeah.
yeah. As what we would all.
Did you listen to Musk on Rogan this last episode where he's like, we
No.
just gotta hope that the AI is pro-human.
Yeah.
That's a terrifying sentence.
Yeah,
We
He's
gotta
like-
hope that they're pro-human.
Yeah,
it doesn't
that,
help
like,
that it's all being designed by anti-human nerds.
If
True.
he's like, if it has an anti-human sentiment that humans are a barrier to its
But when he
propagation.
says it, I'm like that. I don't even like.
If
There's
it's
100 different
programmed-
AIs.
Like,
yeah,
he
but
was-
do they all work together? Like, is
I don't know. I don't think
He was
so.
talking
unity
about
to
like
it?
extinctionists, like people who are like, this place would be better off if human beings didn't even exist. Like the people have anti-human sentiments,
Yeah.
and could be involved.
What happens
in
when
programming
fucking Israel and
these machines.
Hamas both get AI?
They
they
use
can,
it to
like-
fuck each other up. dude.
Yeah.
It's like drone technology. It's
Yeah.
immediately turned into like, how can we fly bombs into places and blow people up
Mm.
for control? That's the huge fear, is the weaponization of it.
Yeah.
That's why they're like, who's got this? What can they do?
Who's got this under control?
right?
No. But, we'll see how much of it actually happens in our lifetimes.
We've come a long way so far. Should we attack this last question?